Hello, spiritsvessel here, doing the June 2019 reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising. And just kind of tuning into your guys' energy. It feels pretty strong. My mom's a Cancer. And I love that Cancers care so much. And they know exactly what makes them feel secure. Used to always bother me, growing up. My mom is such a typical Cancer. She loves her comforts and not really a huge risk taker, It's kind of hard for Sag Sun to deal with, but the decisions she made came from a place of security. And ultimately, they were wise decisions. Some of them weren't, but and I like that the cards are shuffling with you guys. I think you guys are ready to... I think you guys are open right now. I'm feeling like you guys are just like in your element. You're in the flow. We'll see what the cards say, but just kind of tuning into that energy. It feels really good. Last reading I did was for Scorpio. It was a little heavy. A little heavy. I don't feel that way with Cancer. I feel like Cancer going into June, really good stuff. And, we're almost on Cancer season, so it's usually a good time for whatever your sign is. So if you're a Leo and it's Leo season, you're going to be in your element. Okay, so let's see what the cards are saying for Cancer. Okay. Interesting. Ooh. I like that. Okay. All right. Yeah. Interesting spread. Very interesting. I want to get some more clarification going on with this right here. Okay. Interesting. I think that when Mars moved into Cancer, it stirred some shit up. And there is a little bit of a battle of words going on. Normally, Cancer, you guys don't like conflict, really. And if you're gonna have any conflict, you kind of want to make sure you win. You're gonna get in your shell first, make sure you're safe, and then you're going to communicate your needs so you don't get hurt. But I think there was a victory on your part. Definite victory. That Five of Swords is coming in, and sometimes that can mean that you lost, but I don't feel that way. I feel like you were victorious in whatever it was that you were fighting against. And what's coming in for me are boundaries. I think someone was trying to... Yeah. That's what it felt like. It felt like someone was trying to come in, this King of Swords here. Might have been trying to be a little bit manipulative. Or, alternatively, this King of Swords is what helped you to understand that you were being a little bit manipulative. Because Cancers can get like that. But I kind of feel like there was a King of Swords that was making you doubt yourself. And it was just triggering doubt that you had already. But the swords came in and kind of stirred that up. Now that could have been, an outside king. Now this could be male or female, but someone who is very cutting with their words and kind of harsh. Or it just could be the Mars energy that got stirred up in your guys' sign. But it definitely feels like it's someone like out there. And it kind of feels like a sibling. It feels like for some of you, I think it's an older sibling that was really just trying to not respect your boundaries. I think that you're definitely moving on from that. Another thing I kind of picked up on too is that, this is feeling like it's a little work related. I think there might have been new responsibilities given to your work. This will apply to some cancers out there. There's been new responsibilities given to you when it comes to your work, and there's a lot more energy. And although you're coming in as the magician about this, so you know that you can definitely handle it. It feels a little overwhelming at the moment. And I really do feel like these wands are that this fire energy that's right here, this little bit of impatienceness, this it's a little aggressive. That Eight of Wands is coming in. It's a lot of fire energy. It's a lot of passion and enthusiasm. I really do think that's the Mars in Cancer, and I think you guys are a little bit agitated right now. And what happens when Cancers get agitated? They go inward. They go inward a little bit. Yeah, it kind of feels like perhaps at work there was some projects that got stalled. Um, just a lot more responsibility is being placed on you right now. A lot more work. And maybe and perhaps responsibilities at the home too. But there's a lot of wands you guys are having to be aware of. Now, this Knight of Swords is at the middle of the spread, and I kind of want to get some information about that because, there's a lot of swords energy coming in, and I think that that's pretty apt for all the signs I've done so far. There's been a lot of swords. Well, we're in Gemini season right now, so we're in air energy. Swords is air energy. Swords is communicative. It's your word is your sword. Words can be used as a weapon, and it's related to the air element. And the Knight of Swords being in the middle of all this spread, it's like everything is connecting through this Knight of Swords energy. And this could be a younger air sign, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. And this could also be you. I think when Mars moved into Cancer, there was quite a few of you who started to get very agitated. I think because we're in Gemini season, there might be an impulsiveness to what you're saying. You're kind of going in full speed ahead with all the information that's coming in and the speeding up of energy, because Gemini is a lot more fast moving than Taurus is. This could be a partner, you know. I'm kind of picking up that with some cancers out there. There's a lot of bickering with the partner during the first part of June. Because you got that Two of Cups there. It's reversed, and a lot of times I read reversals as something that's going on internally. And it could be, you know, there's this merging of some of your more feminine and masculine qualities. There's a new love being like shared within you. It's kind of like, you know, for some cancers out there, I'm looking at this energy up top here, and although it kind of seems like things are a little crazy on the outward surface, there's this internal peace and love for the self and nurturing that's going on. And if you are bickering with a lover, I think at the end of the day, you know, you guys care about each other. You know that, even if on the outside they are pissing you the hell off. And you can feel that. And you can feel the realness of that. So these three clarifying cards here, you know, there is there's a warning against, you know, getting stuck on this card right here. You know, this Four of Cups energy. You don't want to get stuck on the Three Cups. You really want to start looking at this cup that the universe is offering you. If this is a lover and you're stuck on them being an asshole, get the hell over it. And then also, I mean, obviously, if it's abusive, you know, do something about it. But I mean, you know, don't get too hung up on the grass being greener, because the grass is greener where you water it. So remember that. But it's interesting, you know, there's this there's a youngish energy going on here. You know, there's this Knight of Cups that's coming in and it's offering you a cup, and both of these are upright, so it feels like it's some external energy coming in. And young male, doesn't necessarily have to be, but youngish, immature energy, really. And it could be that for some cancers, I kind of feel like this Knight of Swords is sort of the catalyst for all the cards around, you know. And although they have very cutting words, they also have a sweet side too, and they're also trying to offer you a cup. And again, this could just signify the energy that's going on. The cosmos doesn't necessarily have to be a actual person, although it's kind of coming in that way that it is. Could be a child, you know, like a teenager that you're arguing with. But this is kind of telling me, you know, like, find that balance between seeing them as the knight that they are, where they mean well and they're just trying to offer you love, and don't get too hung up on how things could be. You know, find that balance. Six of Pentacles coming in, you know, there's and the Hierophant. the Hierophant is a pretty spiritual person. And it kind of warns against too much fandom. Too many people telling you what you want to hear. But I kind of see this as more of like you guys are becoming that Hierophant. And perhaps you're becoming the Hierophant to this Knight of Swords that's right here. They're starting to respect your opinion more. They're starting to give you authority more. Because there's definitely a changing of energy that happens. At some point, this Six of Pentacles comes. You're not where the Five of Pentacles was. You're not feeling any sort of lack or scarcity. You're not feeling any sort of insecurity anymore. The tides have turned. The scales are in your favor, and you're able to give back to people. You're not the beggar anymore. You're the one who's got the stability and got the money. And I think that's just going to have to do with whatever it is that you're battling with right now. It could have to do with work or with a partnership. But I think you're learning that you have to just kind of appreciate the small victories that happen and not get too hung up on the small stuff. And I think you're realizing that. You're just going to have to, you move from that Five of Swords. Well, what do you do now that you've won? You've still got a whole lot of baggage to deal with, and you're just going to have to carry that with you. And that's okay. It's not a perfect scenario. I think that Cancers, they want everything to be 100% safe before they make a decision, and that's just not how life is. And there's a lot of twos in this reading. And twos, the twins, Gemini, that could have something to do with it. But I think there's just this sense of peace that comes to you once you're in Cancer season. So once we hit around June 22nd, I think there's just, not only is there a physical sense of peace, there's a spiritual sense of peace. And this High Priestess energy is going to be very, very powerful, especially during the full moon. I think there's just going to be I'm going to pull a final card for that, but kind of what I'm feeling is that there's just this sense of like, okay, battle's over. War's not over, but the battle's over. And it's not ideal, but that's okay. Because there's perfection in the imperfection, right? So, ooh, my goodness. Hello. Hi. Oh. A lot of death going on this month. A lot of transition going on this month. Well, that's not the way I thought this reading was going to end, but I think that this is really symbolizing this Mars and Cancer energy. I think this Mars is just really stirring up a lot of stuff for Cancers. And there's some agitation, there's some agitation going on. It's mental. It's mental because we're in Gemini season. This is a swords card. It's the 9 of swords. It's, thinking about the past, worrying about the past. It's another thing that Cancers too. They're always worrying because they're always wanting to mother. So they're always worrying about everything, almost to the point of like being nagging. But, it could be a very real physical death. I think for some of you it will be. I'm kind of feeling that. I'm feeling like there might have been someone who either died recently or is dying. And you're dealing with the anger of that. You're in the anger phase of the grieving process. But I think because the final card I pull is always kind of like wrapping things up. It's sort of like not only is it the everything that this means here, but also what's the conclusion of what we're seeing here. And, I think there's a lot of stuff you're being forced to let go of. You're being forced to let go of control. You're being forced to surrender. And you're being forced to not have as much security as you normally would have. You're forced to having to make decisions when you don't have all the information, when safety is not guaranteed. But that's okay, because Cancers, they can always they're so good when it comes to security. They're, look at the way a crab walks. It walks from side to side. It doesn't go straight ahead. And so you'll find your security. It's even if you're walking from side to side and you're finding that you're hitting barriers each way, maybe take the road less traveled. Maybe go straight ahead this time and just face it. And you'll be stronger because of it. But there is death coming. And death isn't necessarily a bad thing. And you guys are strong. My mother is one of the strongest people I know. So whatever this is that is coming to an end, whatever this is that's causing that anguish and that tension, I don't think you'll carry that. That's not the feeling I'm getting when I tune into that. I don't think you'll be carrying that into July. But I think while we've got this Mars and Cancer, it's just kind of rough, Gemini seasons are always, it can be slightly rough for Cancers because Geminis just want you to say it, and sometimes Cancers don't have the words for what's going on. They want to feel into things as opposed to talking about it. But now's the time to talk about it. Whatever issues of safety you're feeling right now, now's the time to talk about it. So that's it for this reading. Kind of ended on a little like heavy note, but if there's something I know about Cancers, it's their ability of self-perseverance. So yeah, I wish you guys all the best. Hang in there. Like I said, throughout this entire reading, I just kept getting the thought that just wait until Mars is out of Cancer. So yeah, just hang in there. It's not going to be too much longer. Don't beat yourself up. Don't get stuck in a state of worrying. Try to ground as best as possible while you're in Gemini season. Go for a walk, go to the water, go sit under a tree, go do some yoga. You're going to be fine. So that's my reading. If you liked what you saw and you felt this resonated with you, please like and subscribe. I will be posting videos every month, tarot readings every month. And if you would like a personal reading, you can email me at spiritsvessel@gmail.com. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Please take care. Have a good one.